Only 2 races left until the Sprint Cup finds a home. Will it go to 5-time champ Jimmie Johnson or a first-time trophy for Brad Keselowski? The picture becomes clearer after the race at Phoenix.
Five-time champion Jimmie Johnson, who was running up in the top 5.
It's a lot of right side damage to the low Chevrolet as now he is on the apron, limping that car back to pit road.
And that car appears to be used up. He hit it awful hard.
Ricky Craven says that you can't always account for everything, and that's exactly what Jimmie Johnson ran into Sunday. Your thoughts on this crazy ending?
Well, I've said a lot that you got to have a nearly perfect day to win a race, and it appears as though you need to have a nearly perfect chase to win the title. Jimmie Johnson didn't have that today.
Let's get right to it, because that is not what a lot of folks expected coming into today. Second to last race of the season in Phoenix, championship battle between Jimmie Johnson and Brad Keselowski winding down as the two get friendly there. Lap 19, Ricky.
Yeah, you let the clutch out too quick and you stall. The guys pushed. Brad Keselowski loses 7 spots, including Jimmie Johnson.
Lap 37 then, Brad Keselowski, he was making up ground, Ricky. He passes Matt Kenseth for 12th. 1 lap later, he's able to pass Ryan Newman for 11th. So are you thinking this guy's going to find his way back up there?
Car was solid. He never looked out of control. Paul Wolfe kept 4 tires on the car, every chance possible.
Lap 66, top 3 in the points, running together outside the top 10. They get stacked up in turn 1.
Yeah, Jimmie Johnson was really defensive. Watch this car wiggle getting in the corner. If you hit the brakes too hard right here, you back it in the wall. Jimmie did a great job saving it.
That was POV from Clint Boyer's car. By lap 103, Keselowski has moved inside the top 10, receiving support from his spotter.
Welcome to the single digits. First 2 back. Let's go get the 24. You guys are moving forward here. Got some open air here, nice and smooth. We'll move forward.
That must feel nice. Welcome to the single digits, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, a little coaching, a little cheerleading.
Lap 131 during green flag pit stops. Keselowski stays out, earns bonus point. Johnson also stays out trying to lead a lap, but is unable to. Why?
Yeah, pit road. He comes to pit road. Well, first off, you see Brad Keselowski gets there before he does, and he pits before the start-finish line the next lap, so he doesn't get credited for leading the lap. That's Jimmie Johnson.
And then on the restart, Jeff Gordon slow in the middle there, making it 3 wide with Johnson right in the thick of it.
I thought that Jeff Gordon surrendered here. It was a teammate saying, hey, go ahead, take it.
All right, being a little friendly there.
Yeah,
Lap 190, that wouldn't be the case later. Jimmie passes Kenseth for 8th, right? And then we go to lap 209. Keselowski, zooming by Newman, moves into 2nd.
As the race went long, the 2-car and Brad Keselowski continued to show strength, marching toward the front.
Lap 223, Johnson passed by Casey Kane, dropping to 7th place, while Keselowski is threatening Kyle Busch for the lead.
Threatening Kyle Busch, which is something few drivers could do at Phoenix today. That Toyota was very strong, very fast. Brad Keselowski, he took a few chances today. Lindsay underneath Kyle going into turn 3.
And passes for the lead. Lap 235, a lap later, Johnson blowing a tire on the exit of turn 4. And walk me through this, Ricky.
Yeah, well, you're along for the ride. And when this car loses the right front tire at that point in the corner, Jimmie's got nothing he can do. The force takes him into the outside wall. The damage is severe enough, they have to take the 48 to the garage area.
So when they get down there to pit road, they find that damage too severe. As you said, all Jimmie can do is sit there as the team gets on trying to repair that.
It's a sinking feeling to sit there while your competitor's making laps on the track.
Wow, and the crew working tirelessly, trying to figure out what they can do. Lap 260, Keselowski gaining on 2nd place, Denny Hamlin, but his spotter reminds him to stay calm.
You got breathing room out to cool your jets here. Been reminded to let you know who's sitting in the garage right now. Just big picture, please.
Big picture means think about the big trophy. That's the end of next week's race at Miami if you make all the right decisions.
And as a driver, what are you feeling at that moment when you know what's going on with your competitor?
Well, the hard thing for Brad is that he's been off on offense throughout the chase. Now he's going to have to play a little defense.
So we saw Jimmy gets back on the track. 8 laps to go. Kevin Harvick passes Kyle Busch, takes the lead there. 7 laps to go. Clint Bowyer, and this is important, makes contact with Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, makes contact, and I take it back a few weeks. They made contact at Martinsville. So what happens here? What's the net result? Jeff Gordon takes exception, retaliates, takes Clint Bowyer out, literally turns him into the outside wall. Oh boy, it gets ugly from here.
Gosh, Brad K just misses the action, dives low, avoids it. See that one again. So Gordon climbs out of his car, Ricky, and here you go.
Yeah, you got crew members coming down to confront Jeff Gordon. Then the teams get involved. I got NASCAR officials in the middle here. I see executives.
Ooh, and look at Clint.
Here comes Clint.
He wants a piece of the action. I mean, he is sprinting over to Gordon's hauler.
This makes sense. Drivers be drivers. You know, let the drivers handle it. The crew members getting involved really didn't make a lot of sense to me. And I bet there'll be a few fines because of it.
Well, eventually things would calm down, but police officers then, you see them there, were at the NASCAR hauler to escort Jeff Gordon to his trailer. Meanwhile, Harvick pretty sure he won the race.
We were over the start-finish line. We took the white. Now you say, oh, we were across the start-finish line. I was looking at it. Ain't no way.
Ricky, taking another look, Harvick still approaching the start-finish line as the caution has already been thrown.
Yeah, so we can argue it until we're blue in the face, or as blue as that number 2 car, but we're going to have a green-white checkered.
After the restart with 2 laps to go, Danica Patrick wrecks in the middle of the traffic in turn 3, but no caution is thrown. The field takes the white flag. What are your thoughts?
I think that, I don't know, it's crazy. You know, in the end, NASCAR's trying to do the best job they can. There was a lot of carnage here. Kevin Harvick earned the victory. Some of these guys, well,
I mean, it's just crazy. This is just craziness.
That's right, Lindsay. They didn't get what they deserved, but Brad Keselowski found a way to slide through like he has the entire chase.
He escapes again, brings it home in the 6th position. By the way, Harvick won his first race of the season, so Kevin Harvick picks up the win, snapping a 44-race winless streak that went back to September of last season. Kyle Busch led almost 3/4 of the race, but had to settle for 3rd. Brad Keselowski finished 6th with Jimmy Johnson 32nd, giving Keselowski a 20-point lead with 1 race to go. Our NASCAR Now lead reporter Marty Smith joins us now. And Marty, we've seen the highlight. What was the 48 team saying after the race?
Lindsay, Jimmy Johnson typically likes being the one that's hunted when the championship's on the line. He likes to have the lead going into the season finale so that he's handling the pressure. He's used to handling pressure. But after the wreck here in Phoenix on Sunday, he has no pressure. He just pins his ears back and goes.
Unfortunately, we lost a lot of control, or all control of the championship, and it's, we can go down there and win the race and do everything on our behalf, and it still won't net us a championship. So, we'll go down and do our part and just see how things unfold. Today was proof that anything can happen in this sport, and we'll see how things shake out in Miami. It takes a lot of pressure off. I would much rather have the pressure of trying to win the championship and hang on to the points lead, but the position we're in now, it really is a go for broke mentality, from driving the car, pit calls, all those types of things to try to catch the 2 car in a situation. If they have some bad luck, it changes our game plan, but right now they have a ton of control going to Homestead.
I don't really know what happened with that last pit stop, what went on and made that tire come apart the way it did. Like I said, I've got to get it, take a look at it, and see what happened. But I felt like we had a solid top 10, if not a top 5 car. But unfortunately, we weren't able to get there. And I think if you watch the 48 car, they're pretty tenacious. And no matter what the circumstances are or what it is that we need to do, we go out there and try to put forth the best effort that we possibly can. And we're not going to go to Homestead and do any different, I can promise you.
I didn't see this coming. I knew my car was tight that run the tire exploded, but I didn't think we were going to have an issue with a tire going down. So just running hard. I mean, it wasn't directed, it wasn't driven by the two. We've always raced our own race and see where the chips may fall, and that was really all we were doing today. I was content coming out of here within a few points up or down to them, and I thought that's the way the day was going to turn out. And we go to Homestead and race like crazy and see what happens. But that tire going down changed that a lot.
Nobody has control. You don't know what the hell's going to go on. You don't know. But no, we're good. We'll go to Homestead and we'll race, and if we can get back into it, great. If we can't, then we just go on. Daytona's not too far away. It's only a couple months,
As Johnson emerged from his car, Lindsay, he was typically composed, but as you can see there was just a hint of defeat in his voice. He did say, though, I hate to see our championship possibly end this way. Lindsay?
Thank you very much, Marty. So, Ricky, on paper, Jimmie Johnson now 20 points behind Brad Keselowski. What is the reality of his chances heading into Homestead?
Well, first off, the reality of the whole situation is that the part that they can control, the 48 team, they've done an exceptional job at, and they're coming off 2 max point days where they win the pole and win the race, lead the most laps back to back. They come into a weekend, they don't qualify that well. I think that they created a deficit for themselves. They were playing catch up all race long. And the percent that you can't control is this percent right here. You can't control some of the material and the parts that are in a car. You can't control the tires. Now, we're assuming that he wore the right front out, but you don't know that he didn't run over something. You don't know that there wasn't something rubbing a little bit. Again, the part they control, they've done an exceptional job at. So,
was there anything else that Jimmie Johnson could have done?
I think he'll probably fly home thinking, were there signs? Felt a vibration. Maybe I didn't recognize it early enough. I mean, that's a game that drivers play, in hindsight. One thing that he's really good at is knocking the rear mirror off the car and looking out the front windshield. He doesn't second guess himself much. It's one of his strengths. It is an uphill battle, but it's not impossible for the 48 team to win this championship. Everything we saw today that happened to the 48 team could strike any one of these teams. That's a reality. We saw it play out today to the 48. It could be the 2 next week. One thing that impresses me about the 2 is they've had a remarkable chase in that they've managed it very well. But there's an element of vulnerability for every one of these teams. And I'll bet you Paul Wolf takes this car apart 3 times during the week to make sure every piece on it is perfect.
You talk about the 2 team, Brad Keselowski. Now, if he finishes 15th or better next week, the championship is his. Coming up on NASCAR Now, we will hear from the new points leader. Brad Keselowski started the day 14th, had some success, led some laps, held off the competition to come home 6th. He leads the championship standings now by 20 points. Here's Shannon Spake.
Before we get to the way that your day went, you talk about the championship battle being a team effort. There was no better example of that today than your spotter talking you through what was going on with the 15 and the 24. Tell me what that was like.
Well, if we don't survive that, we obviously don't walk out here with the points lead. So that was very critical. And all year long, we've had a team that's rallied around each other and found a way to persevere through adversity. And that's what I have around me. And I'm very, very lucky to have them. I know that because this is a team sport. NASCAR racing doesn't get the credit for that, but it really is a team sport. And we rely on each other and fall back on each other in times of weakness and, boost each other up in times of strength. So, Joey, my spotter, had my back on that, and Paul had my back on the pit calls and giving me a fast car. And, obviously it was my job to do all I could to stay out of the wrecks that were today, and that's why we're in the position we're at.
Okay, so what is that like for you as your agenda is to finish the race knowing that the 48 is having an issue and you see all of this going on around you?
You're just thinking, what next? That's all you can think. And trying to put yourself in a position to not be a part of it. I hate laying up in a race car. I'd rather go for the win and do all those things, and we did with that late race pit call to come in and put tires on and try to drive through the field. And kind of backfired for us because it put us in the midst of all the carnage. But that's part of the sport, and it also shows the commitment that we have to winning races.
Some damage to your car. What happened?
And we got caught up in that last wreck, and I felt very, very lucky to just make it past the start-finish line.
What were your thoughts when you found out the 48 was having some issues?
Well, I was wondering what conspiracy theory was going to come up over that one. And I felt bad for him. And I know that the same thing can happen to us next week, and this is why it's not over till it's over.
We asked you in the media center this week, when you think of Homestead, what do you think? And you said, I think about going and winning that race. But now that you're up in points and you talked about laying back and thinking big picture, what's your plan?
Same thing. We want to go to Homestead and win the race, and we're going to do all we can to make that happen. When you run up front, you control your own destiny.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you.
Brad Keselowski came into this race facing a 7-point deficit to Jimmy Johnson, but he leaves with a 20-point lead and controls his destiny for a Sprint Cup Series title. It would be his first title. It would also be the first Sprint Cup Series championship for Penske Racing. We're going to hear from Brad Keselowski coming up in a little bit because he was very critical of NASCAR after the race. But first, Ricky, so we've just laid out what his circumstances are heading into next week's finale. How would you approach next week's race if you're Brad Keselowski?
Same way you've been doing business. You know, there's two things that get drivers in trouble, Lindsay. Number one is if you're careless. Number two is if you're too careful, right? Both of those are at both ends of the extreme, and Brad Keselowski has been neither of those through 9 races in the chase. You saw a little sense of being careful toward the end of the race, and he survived it. Having said that, my advice would be don't go to Homestead and play defense. You know, in football, they call it prevent defense. How many times have we seen a team find a way to lose because they changed their game plan? This team, Brad Keselowski, Paul Wolfe, have done it and executed it perfectly. Continue to march forward, play to your strength. Don't take any unnecessary risk, but why would you do that now? They haven't done it yet. I like their strategy. I think they're going to be fine. But there is that mechanical issue. We've talked a little bit about that in the show. That's the part you just can't control.
Coming up, if you didn't see the gloves drop, Clint Bowyer, Jeff Gordon, you got to see it. And if you did see it, it's worth seeing again. Trust us, you do not want to miss this.
They hit a slow-moving Jeff Gordon. He'll get to the Clint Bowyer, who collects Joey Logano. All 3 cars slap the wall to the outside of turn 4.
Well, they said they were let him have at it. That's having at it right there. Oh, conflict. The cruiser in it. And somewhere in the middle of that is Jeff Gordon. I'm sure Clint Bowyer wants his opportunity at this. Can't really blame him.
Shannon Spake joins us now from Phoenix. Shannon, you had a front row seat to all the drama. What was the fallout?
Well, Lindsay, really everyone here had just sort of come to grips with the fact that Jimmy Johnson's title hopes had taken a huge hit. None of us could predict what was going to happen next. Of course, Jeff Gordon, Clint Bowyer made contact. Jeff Gordon retaliated when he climbed from the car. Clint Bowyer's crew was waiting. A fight, wrecked race cars, and a couple of drivers sitting in the NASCAR hauler.
It's just a shame, man. You know, the last person in the world you want to get into anything with is Jeff Gordon on the racetrack. I mean, you're down there racing. The track's extremely slick. We're all on tires. I didn't even need to pass him. That's the thing. You know, all I was doing was riding around, buying my time. The only thing I had to do is keep the 5 car within reach. So for him to act like that, I mean, I barely touched him, and then I feel him get into turn 3 and try to turn me, and he missed. And then next thing I know, Brett's telling me on the radio that he's trying to, you know, he's waiting on me. I mean, it's just, it makes us all look like a bunch of, you know, it's pretty embarrassing for a 4-time champion. And you know, what I consider one of the best the sport's ever seen to act like that. It's completely ridiculous.
Things have gotten escalated over the year, and I've just had it, you know. Clint's run into me numerous times, wrecked me, and he got into me on the back straightaway and pretty much ruined our day. And you know, I've had it set up with it and got it back.
It's kind of crazy that a champion will take out like that, but 2 races, you know, Homestead, if we have nothing to lose, I'm pretty sure we'll get it, you know, pretty exciting down there. But it's just a freaking shame that this team is running so hard every week. Like that happens.
Whatever. I mean, there's nothing you can do to fix it now. It's over with. You got to go on a Homestead, and I got to try to beat the 5 car. But I mean, that was my opportunity to try to get myself back in the championship hunt. You know, when you're disrupting a championship run like that, it's too bad. They ask us not to do that in drivers' meeting, and there's usually a lot of respect there. Like I said, it's crazy. I didn't even need to pass him. I was plenty content riding behind him, and he slipped up down there. I get under him, and here he comes back. I just barely touched him. I mean, I literally barely rubbed him, and then all of a sudden I feel him trying to retaliate, and I don't know, I missed or something, hit the wall and made himself look like a fool.
Now, you heard Clint Bowyer mention that Jeff Gordon was waiting for him for a couple of laps. NASCAR Vice President of Competition Robin Pemberton told me that there was no attempt to contact Jeff Gordon over the radio to try to prevent him from retaliating. As far as penalties, Pemberton said that those could come down in the next couple days. Lindsay?
Thank you, Shannon. Jeff Gordon tweeted this after the race. He said, "I'll say the same thing I told NASCAR and media. Reached my limit, tired of getting run into by 15. Sorry to the other guys involved." And some other drivers were weighing in. Joey Logano, also involved in the wreck, tweeted, "When I was young, I thought Jeff Gordon was the best driver. Now I've lost a lot of respect for him. Hashtag very dumb." And Denny Hamlin, who finished second, tweeted, "Great turnaround week for our FedEx team. One more to go." On another note, the 24 should be parked. He took out 5 cars in that BS. Ricky, you talk about a lot of times the drivers seems like they're all getting along, and then this has divided a lot of them. What do you make of this situation moving forward?
I think that I understand most of these drivers weighing in immediately, okay, because there's a lot of emotion after the race. But here's the reality. Every single one of these guys that put a helmet on keeps a scorecard. Every one of them. And every one of them have a limit. Jeff Gordon reached his limit. So he chose to handle it the way he handled it. Now, it's really not up to us to weigh in on right, wrong, or indifferent. That's NASCAR's job. But I'm telling you, having driven for 25 years, every driver has a limit, and every driver has a moment in their career where they retaliate. You have
because drivers never forget, as you always
Well,
say.
they don't, and they keep that scorecard on their hard drive, you know, and they never forget. And now, in a situation like this, Jeff Gordon chose to deal with it right now. And you go back to Martinsville, all right, this isn't that long ago. It's a spring race this year. There was also contact at Martinsville in the second race, the fall race. Jeff Gordon didn't speak after that. My experience has been when the driver doesn't speak, you better tighten the belt. Okay, so if a driver gets on the TV and says, "I'm going to even the score," or "I'm going to retaliate," typically nothing happens. When a driver doesn't say much, well, expect it when you least expect it. It is a shame for Joey Logano. It's a shame for anybody that was involved. Brad Keselowski nearly involved. But let me say this in closing. Drivers take one another to the limits. Absolute extreme. 130 degrees inside that race car. Don't expect them to be rational. Sometimes they exceed what's reasonable. I'm not going to take sides in this matter, but I can tell you that I see both sides because I've been in both situations.
We heard...
although I've never run all the way down pit road after another driver.
Are you sure? There's no tape of that anywhere?
I think I could.
Oh, sure, you could. We saw Brian Patty, their Clint Bowyer's crew chief, basically inferring that there would be some hell to pay in Homestead. What do you think plays out there?
I think the scorecard goes on. Okay, so is it next week? Is it next year? Is it down the road? I mean, you know, that's something that a driver, I mean, listen, in baseball, if a guy's hit, the next inning, and it was intentional, the next inning, your teammate will plunk the guy, okay? That's gone on for 100 years. Racing has its own etiquette. It's not something that everybody watching this show will understand, but I'll say it one last time. Having driven for 25 years, I get it. There is an etiquette out there. Everybody has a scorecard. Everybody handles it differently. You saw how Jeff Gordon handled it. One thing that we can say for certain, he left no doubt what his intentions were.
Right. That's a great point. There's no hiding that. And that hard drive, that never goes away. Rain doesn't stop at nothing. Right. Coming up, there was a winner. Yeah, there really was a winner for this race. And it was Kevin Harvick. And we're going to hear from him coming up next.
Eventful might be a way to start describing Sunday's race at Phoenix for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. We talk about it with champion driver and champion crew chief Dale Jarrett and Andy Petrie. Let's start with the championship story. Jimmie Johnson, the 5-time champ, 77 laps to go, running 7th. Ouch.
Yeah, he didn't have a great car today, but he did have a car that looked like he was capable of running inside the top 10 until he blew a right front tire.
This was a situation where they didn't have the speed that their competitor did with Brad Keselowski. They were trying to push, and I think they pushed just a little bit too hard. blew that right front. They were in the garage for quite a while making repairs.
32nd place finish. You see the damage to Johnson's championship hopes there. Clint Bowyer, Jeff Gordon racing for 5th spot late in the race, and it got ugly.
Yeah, it did. These two were just racing hard. Looked like Clint Bowyer got into the left rear slightly of Jeff Gordon. They touch again getting into turn 3, and Jeff Gordon gets the worst of this.
Yeah, Clint Bowyer certainly thought that that was the end of this until he came upon Gordon in turn 3 and 4 again.
They were coming to the white flag. Joey Logano, Eric Almirola also involved. It set up an overtime finish to this race. It also set off a wild melee in the garage area between the two teams.
Certainly the crews were not very happy. I think they were trying to get at the driver, Jeff Gordon. He was kept out of this. Clint Bowyer wanted to get in it, though.
Well, there's a lot at stake here for this team. They were 3rd in points. They were going to still have a shot at this thing going to the last race next week. They got knocked out of it. They felt like they had been done wrong.
Brad Keselowski, the championship would-be leader with Johnson's troubles. This wreck happened right in front of him. He missed that one. His excitement for the race wasn't over. Coming to the checkered flag, Danica Patrick gets turned into the wall by Jeff Burton. Coming to the white flag, on the overtime of the finish. Patrick limps around, leaking oil behind her car. Coming to the checkered flag, more mayhem.
Well, these cars are racing really hard. They see the checkered flag. They don't see the oil, and all these cars start crashing. Looks like a couple of them get through. Looked like Kurt Busch really hit hard, and then all of them start getting together behind him.
And once again, Brad Keselowski able to snake his way through there, had some damage, but comes home with a 6th place finish.
Kurt Busch hit Brad Keselowski, but Brad managed to make it through. He goes to the championship with a 20-point lead. Even if Jimmy Johnson wins the race, Brad Keselowski can take the championship with a finish of 15th or better. As today proved, easier said than done. Chaos, mayhem, fights, crashes, controversy at Phoenix, and still one race to go in the NASCAR Sprint Cup season. I can't wait.
Thanks, guys. It was a good day at Phoenix for the Busch brothers. Kyle finished 3rd, his 6th top 5 finish of the chase, tying him with Jimmy Johnson for the most. Big brother Kurt finished 8th, giving him back-to-back top 10s for the first time this season. And Danica Patrick finished a career-best 17th. It's the best finish by a woman driver since Janet Guthrie finished 11th in the 1980 Daytona 500. Kevin Harvick rolls to victory for the first time in the last 44 races. He joins us now here on NASCAR Now. Kevin, congratulations. What was it like getting back into victory lane?
Well, this is why we all race, to wind up in victory lane, and to be able to wind up in victory lane here in Phoenix is extra special. We always have a lot of family and friends, a lot of fans in this particular area. Had a great week with our foundation, and a lot of people here that wanting us to run well, so glad it all worked out.
Kevin, what does this win mean for you, coming on the heels of the news that you will be leaving Richard Childress Racing after 2013?
Well, obviously there's a lot going on, and it's like we told them in the media center, myself and Richard, no matter what the circumstances are with 2014, we still have another week left in 2012. We still have 2013, and we want to win. We're both competitors, and there's a lot of business outside of racing the car. So, no matter how it all works out, Richard and I will always remain friends and do the best we can to get through this year and next year. And hey, this is racing, and we want to win races and race for a championship.
Kevin, congratulations. I think this is your first Sprint Cup Series win as a dad. Is that right?
It is, yeah. We were fortunate to knock the nationwide races out of the way early, in Richmond and Texas. So, yeah, to have Delana and Keelan here in victory lane was the first time that they've actually been at the track. So to be able to do that and get him in a few pictures, he wasn't real thrilled about everybody screaming and yelling. But all in all, it's been a great experience, and every day that goes by, you learn something new, and it's really helped me off the racetrack to be able to let go of things, and it's brought a new perspective to things and how you look at them. So the competitor in me is still, lit up and ready to go, and but off the racetrack, you definitely have to look at things differently.
And Kevin, you think about racing on these flat racetracks and tracks you grew up on. It's special for all the drivers to go back on this type of environment and compete, but it's not easy. So that said, with all that was going on in the last few laps, with some oil on the track, describe for me what was going through your mind in those last couple of laps.
Well, they were raising Cain on the radio about whether the caution had come out or not, but I was pretty aware that the caution flag had flown and the lights had come on before the white flag had come out and before I'd crossed the line. So I was sitting on a backstretch and knew we were in control of the race, and my biggest concern was fuel. Just wanted to make sure that the fuel didn't run out. I didn't really know where we were on that, but at this point, you just kind of let it all hang out, and the restart before was perfect on the top side, and I just needed to do that again and get off the line without spinning a tire. So it all worked out, and once we were able to get off of turn 2, we were in control of the race, and weren't expecting the oil coming off of turn 4, but it all worked out.
Kevin, I'm not going to ask you to talk about a year down the road or 2 years down the road, but I am going to suggest that the next 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 years, are going to be your best. This is the sweet spot for a driver. You're at a point where you haven't lost any speed, and as you said, you still have the desire and the focus, but you've got enough experience so you're not making mistakes that young drivers make. And having said that, how much pressure is there on you, or how much pressure are you putting on yourself to be in a place, whether it's Childress or somewhere else, to meet those expectations?
Well, I feel like we've been able to accomplish a lot, and my ultimate goal is to win the championship, and I want to be in a place where we can win races and win a championship, no matter where that is. So that's the ultimate goal. We've been able to achieve a lot with the Daytona 500, the Brickyard, a couple nationwide championships, owners truck series championships. So we've been fortunate, and we've won a lot of races, and we've won some championships, and that one thing that's missing out of the mantle that you want to put on the mantle is that Sprint Cup Series championship. So that's what we're after.
Kevin Harvick, thank you so much for the time here on NASCAR Now. Now go celebrate with your family.
Thank you.
Coming up, hear from the points leader, Brad Keselowski, giving NASCAR a piece of his mind. Out of all the chaos that ensued in this race, Brad Keselowski found his way through to a top 10 finish. He finished 6th. He spoke about the craziness and pulled no punches afterwards.
I thought I'd gotten this close and I was going to wreck and stop before the start-finish line, so I just hit the gas as hard as I could, thinking that I would just bounce off enough walls like a game of Pong to make it across the start-finish line, and that would be it. And somehow the car straightened itself back out, and I made it back around. So I don't even know what happened. I got to watch the replay of that.
We'll go to Lewis next and over the time.
When did you learn about Jimmy's condition? Did Paul radio you?
Nobody told me. I didn't know until I drove by, and he was on pit road, and I knew somebody had blown out a right front tire based on the marks on the wall and the damage, so I didn't know until I drove by and saw a black car on pit road and saw the right side tore up on it, and I put 2 and 2 together. I was thinking I can't wait to hear all the conspiracy theories. So that's what I was thinking, yeah. Because I'm sure, I don't know, maybe 5 years from now, if I end up winning this thing, there will be somebody who goes, remember Phoenix when such and such laid down thumbnail tacks and blew out Jimmy's tire? And that was what I was thinking. What conspiracy story is somebody kind of come up with? It might be Mohern. I don't know.
Yes, that's a good idea. I think I'll think about that.
But I was just trying to think what's the wildest one I could come up with. And then I thought, well, next thought was that could very easily be me. And, I better manage my car and my tires to make sure it's not.
Tom?
Tom Jensen, Speed.com. Congratulations on your run today. You seem unusually subdued for having this big a points lead. Would you be happier if you would have won the race and Johnson would have finished 2nd or 3rd? Or are you just...
Absolutely. I mean, I felt like we had a race-winning car, and I wanted to take the points lead by winning a race, not by relying on a failure. But sometimes that's not how the sport works. And you have to accept that. I'm more just disappointed in the quality of racing that we saw today. I thought it was absolutely ridiculous, and I was ashamed to be a part of it.
Let's go to David next, then the Jenna, and then we'll go upstairs to the press box.
The follow-up on that, I mean, I think you were in the car and said something like, if I ever do anything like that, just come out here and slap me in the face or hit me in the head. I mean, what most offended you about what happened out there? But what happened before with Jimmy and with Jeff and his crew?
What offends me is the double standard that I spent a whole week being bashed by a half a dozen drivers about racing hard at Texas and how I'm out of control and have a death wish, and then I see like that. That's all you can call that. And these guys just tried to kill each other. You race hard, and I get called an for racing hard, and called with a death wish, and I see like that, and it just pisses me off. I'm not yelling at you, Dave, but it's just ridiculous. and they should be ashamed.
Jenna?
Sorry, go ahead.
No.
I'm not yelling at you. I just.
No, I know.
It's embarrassing.
No, I know. I'm just. I'm wondering where to go with this.
I would hope that, you know, Mike's probably in the hall saying the same thing. Maybe not. I don't know. Oh, well, he was. I hope.
And I don't disagree with you, but I wanted to ask you about the end there. You got hit there at the end. You said, why do we have to kill ourselves to get a good finish? What should have been done differently there?
Well, I mean, the retaliation is out of control in this sport. We've got a bunch of drivers that feel like they have to retaliate, or they're being challenged as a man, and that's ridiculous. It's not what this sport needs. I don't think it's good for anybody, and it's going to get somebody hurt. You know, I've said before, we walk a line between chess players and daredevils, and we're not walking it very well. And I don't know why that is. I certainly don't blame NASCAR for that. They're not driving the cars. But it just drives me absolutely crazy that I get lambasted for racing somebody hard without even being a wreck, and then you see stuff like this, and that's okay. From the same people that criticize me, that's okay. It's okay to just take somebody out, but you race somebody hard, put a fender on somebody and try to go for the win, and you're an absolute villain, and that's ridiculous. But then we can just go out and retaliate against each other and come back in and smile about it, and it's fine. That's not what this sport needs. It needs hard racing. It needs people that go for broke, try to win races, and put it all out there on the line. Not a bunch of people that have anger issues. That's not good for anybody. And it really hurt my feelings to be a part of a chase race for the championship and have that jeopardized from people that can't keep control of their emotions.
Okay, Ricky, he's talking about two separate things there. He's talking about this melee, and he's talking very clearly about himself and what he feels. What do you make of those comments from Brad?
God, I really don't know. Because to me, it was like a volcano that had been smoking for weeks, and it finally erupted. And once the lava started pouring out, he couldn't stop it. I mean, I'm a little taken aback by it, because he's on the cusp of his first Sprint Cup championship. He sounded a little bit exhausted, really mentally exhausted, because, you know, some of this you can weigh in on, and some of it you just need to leave alone and let NASCAR do their job. Your job is to win the title, and you're this close, and I really admire what he's done. But having said that, I do think that there's a percentage of this that's personal. I think a percentage of this is the way Brad's been perceived by other drivers. And I think some of that stung. And I think the comments that Tony Stewart made last week that I wasn't even aware of until the last couple of days, they really stung. And when Brad says there's a double standard, he is absolutely, unequivocally, he is directing that comment right at the criticism he's received in his Sprint Cup Series career for the way he drives or the way he's driven versus the behavior of other drivers, in this case, a four-time champ. But I don't think it's your job, you know, it's too political. I don't think it's your job necessarily at this point in your career to take the position of weighing in on all these things. I think his job is to finish the job, win the championship, do an interview a month from now. But he's too emotional right now to comment on all of it.
Speaking of emotional, someone that was rather happy after this race was Richard Childress, team owner of the winning driver for Now. We talked to Richard just ahead on NASCAR Now. Coming up next weekend, it's championship weekend at Homestead. Friday, catch Sprint Cup Series practice at 1:30 Eastern on ESPN2. Saturday, the Nationwide Series finale. Our coverage starts at 4 Eastern on ESPN. And Sunday, the Chase finale, 1:30 Eastern on ESPN, where last year, Tony Stewart won to wrap up a title.
Call Kevin Harvick at the front of the field. They are side by side for second. Denny Hamlin to the outside of Kyle Busch as Harvick pulls away at the point. Here comes Kevin Harvick. It took 44 tries, but Kevin Harvick is going back to victory lane.
And we welcome in today's winning owner, Richard Childress, celebrating his 101st Sprint Cup victory, courtesy of Kevin Harvick. And Richard, congratulations. We heard you say just before the end of this race that you didn't know that Harvick had enough fuel to get it done. So how much relief did you feel with him getting this win?
Well, with all of those caution laps and riding around, and you know, they gave us one more extra lap, and you know, didn't know if we were going to make it, but he had saved some fuel earlier, and man, he and Gil had this deal worked out, and I couldn't be proud of him. And Paul Menard came out here and tested the 13 car. We used a lot of that, and Paul was great all day.
Richard, it is a little bit ironic that Kevin gets this win, and just a few days ago we reported that he will be leaving your team after 2013 to join Stewart-Haas Racing. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm not going to comment on that. We've, you know, we got a lot of racing ahead of us. We got a race this week, got a race next week. We got a whole nother year to race, and you know, we're gonna do everything we can to win for Budweiser and get them in victory circle every chance we get, and get a shot at the championship in 13.
Hey, Richard, congratulations. 101 wins. That's pretty impressive. You just mentioned doing this for the team, but doing it for the sponsors and running this business. Tell me the value of winning a race late in the year, the difference between going winless in 2012 versus getting this win going into the offseason.
Yeah, I mean, it's big, Ricky. You know how the sport is. You know, last year we won 6 races, and we struggled this year. There's no doubt about it. In the Cup, we've had a good truck and nationwide year, but it's about the Cup. You got to come over here and win, and to get this win is huge.
Richard, I know how hard you work, and I know you're a fighter. If you look up at the competition and see the teams that are just a little bit ahead of you right now, how do you catch them during the off season?
We worked really, really hard, Ricky, on our 213 program, and if NASCAR keeps a level playing field with all of us racing the same thing going into 213, like the nationwide and the trucks, RCR will be back winning a lot of races.
Richard, I'm just curious, what were your thoughts on the end of this race, this wild race?
Well, you know, it was one of those deals. The caution came out really quick when we were 30, 40 yards from the start finish. And then when Danica wrecked, we took the white and we raced all the way back around, go through the oil. I come back and we tear up our 27 car, a really good car, and some guys, it was just, I got to just ask them what's going on.
Richard Childress, again, congratulations, and thank you so much for joining us here on NASCAR Now.
Thank you. We're going to celebrate and have some buds.
We are wrapping up a wild day here on NASCAR Now. When we come back, Ricky Craven looks ahead to Homestead and the season finale.